to another Faithfully Creations video. In this video, I will be showing you the paper tray option in the eCraft by Craftwell. As many of you know from my presence on Facebook, this is my favorite feature of this particular cutting machine, and it's what I personally believe sets the eCraft above anything else on the market. I have 3 kids that are in elementary and middle school, and they frequently want to take treat bags with them to school for various holidays and special occasions, and each of them has about 30 kids in their classroom, so having to do 90 to 100 of these cuts every time for their toppers could get very time consuming and very tedious if I didn't have an option like the paper tray that I'm about to demonstrate. Another way that I use this feature is for images that I use a lot of, like labels for sentiments for card making, or the shapes from the Lena Lamb Office Essentials SD card that I'm going to show you today. Today I'm going to be using image 2, image 5, and image 10, which are all tabs, and I use these tabs in a variety of ways in my personal crafting. So I like to, periodically cut, 50 to 100 of them at a time so that I don't have to cut them all the time and I just have a supply built up that I can pull out whenever I need them. So let me go ahead and show you how this feature works. I've already programmed the machine for the first tab, and so now we need to go down in our category menu to the second, and we're going to load this, and I'm going to take the size down to 1.5, and I'm going to cut 15 of image 5 because this is a card image that I use a lot. So next we're going to scroll down to image 10, which is really fun, and we're going to cut 10 of those. Okay, and then I have these 3 cuts. I think I have about 25 or 30 cuts programmed to cut, and we're going to go ahead and hit the cut button. One thing I forgot to mention is when I cut from the tray, especially when I cut the tabs, because some of them are only 1 inch or 1.5 inches, I always like to put my tab setting on 1 with the density, I think is what it is, at 3, so that the paper doesn't fall out in the machine because it's running through the machine itself without a carrier sheet underneath it. Now, because I have 30 or 40 cuts programmed to cut, I don't want to sit here the whole time. That's one of the things I like the most about my machine, is that I don't have to. So I just want to show you, it's cutting, I don't know if you can see this if I'm in camera or not, but it's cutting the first few shapes. The first label that I programmed right now, or tab that I programmed for it to cut at 10 or 12 is cutting now. So we still have 2 more shapes after this one. So I'm going to go ahead and close the lid. It doesn't matter if you leave it open or closed. Just coming back to check and see where we're at in this process. Oh, we're almost finished. And now you can simply pull these out of here. And remember, I used a tab setting so that they didn't fall off the paper and slide around while they were cutting in the tray mode. And you can see one of the great things that the eCraft does when you cut in the tray mode, this is a white sheet of paper so I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see it, but it sets your cuts up automatically to maximize the space on your paper. So even though I told it to cut these particular labels, tabs, whatever, these ones, I asked it to cut these before I asked it to cut these right here. It decided it would be better to cut those first. So you see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them cut here, and then it cut the remaining 3, and then I started to cut the other tabs that I use the most of. And I'm not going to sit here, of course, and make you watch me pull all of these out. I just wanted to show you how awesome the paper tray option is. Now, it just so happens that my particular cuts that I set up all fit on one sheet of paper, but the eCraft allows you to set up to 99 cuts, or 99 of the same image. And so if more images would have been required to cut, or I would have programmed it for more images than what fit on one sheet of paper, it would have just spit this one out and pulled another one in. So now you see why the paper tray on the eCraft from Craftwell is one of my favorite features.